Lori here. I'm back to start another reading vlog. We're actually not getting a lot of snow here, but we are getting a lot of rain. And I am slightly under the weather, so I'm really not going to be going out. I do have off tomorrow because it is Martin Luther King Day. And I am trying to rest up because I have a very busy week ahead. If you guys have been following me here for a while, when I get colds, I tend to not want to do anything but read. Which is my plan of attack for today. I'm just going to relax, read, watch some booktube, and that's kind of my plan. Hopefully I'll get a lot of reading done. But I am on page 263 of A Girl on Paper and Fire. I would love to tackle this out today and to start something new. I don't know if that's going to happen. Yesterday I did wind up finishing Thorn of Glass. And I did start listening to Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. I'm probably going to do a lot of blog posts and Instagram stuff later on today. So I'm probably going to make some headway on that audiobook as well. I just wanted to check in and start this reading vlog, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hey guys, I'm just checking back in. I just got up to page 287 in the arc. This book is super interesting, and the thing I like about this book is that your lead character, Lee, is really different. And the LGBTQ romance is really, really interesting. I love the world. I think it definitely has Asian-inspired influences in it. But the relationship between Lei and, what's her name? Lei and Ren is really interesting. And Ren is a character that I think we see a lot in, YA literature, like a strong girl who's a trained assassin. That's basically what Ren is in this book. And it's really interesting that that's not our lead character and Leia's, and I really like that. So and their dynamics are really interesting, and I'm flying through this book. So hopefully I get to read. I definitely want to tackle this today. But I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I really like the political stuff. I tend to really like political intrigue novels, and this is definitely what that is. And I'll be curious to see how this book ends. I'm sure this is the first book in a series. Actually, I'm 90% sure it is. But I'll be curious to see what comes next, and maybe if next book we will get Ren's point of view, or we will get other characters' point of views. But I am liking the choice to have Leia as the main character. This definitely screams it has elements of the Selection series and stuff like that. That cast, that girls that are trying to be with the king. But the relationship with the prince in this, or the king in this book, is really interesting because it's not glorified at all. It's not like you want this relationship to succeed, which I'm liking. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. Yeah, and you don't see a lot of goodness in the king in this. You hear about it, but you don't see it, and I think that that's an interesting choice to make. So yeah, I'll definitely check back in later. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm just checking back in. I'm going to try to update a lot more today and maybe have this be a full readathon vlog for today. That's the plan anyway. But this book is so fascinating and it's so interesting. And normally when you read books about a series of girls that are basically the concubines of the king, they eventually fall in love. And I think that that's a trope that I have really, really struggled with because it basically is an abusive relationship. There is no doubt in my mind and how Natasha is writing this that this is an abusive relationship. No doubt in my mind. But it's so fascinating. She writes so beautifully. She has very lyrical writing, which I know some people don't always like, but I really do like it. And I always sometimes struggle with sex scenes because sometimes I think that they're just gratuitous, but hers, I read every word, and it's so lyrical, and it's so, it's just so compelling to read. She's, a very, compelling writer, but, oh my god, this book is, so heartbreaking, too, that it has moments where you're just oh my goodness. There's a lot of upheaval in this. It has elements of rising, standing up for what you believe in, and even when no one else believes you. I love all the girls that we're meeting, and the girls in this book are so different. But yeah, it's just, I just hit about page 300 in this. I'm definitely going to tackle the rest of this today. I just wanted to check back in and let you know that this book, there is a massive trigger warning for rape and sexual assault in this book. There is a lot of fade to black, but it also can it's definitely discussed in a lot of ways. And you see the different ways these rapes occur and like the effects on the girls. Even if it's subtle for most of them, but especially with Lay's character, you do see it, so just as like a warning. But oh my god, it is really like gut-wrenching at points. But I'm really loving the world, I'm loving the characters. I cannot wait until we get book 2. I also can't wait to finish this. So I will definitely check back in probably at the end. If something even more shocking comes, which keeps happening in this book, I'll definitely check back in. But I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, Lori here. I just wound up finishing Girls in Paper and Fire by Natasha Yanning. The last 50 pages of this book flew by. It was such a fast-paced story. I really loved it. I thought that the ending was really well crafted, and I think it changed the game for Lay's character a lot of the way. I still love the relationship between Lay and Ren. I think their relationship is so interesting. I'll be really curious to see what happens in book 2. There was a couple of unexpected twists, especially towards the tail end of this novel. But the highlight of this book was definitely the world building for me and the structure of the book and just the plot. I really liked it. I gave this book like 4.5 stars. I didn't feel as connected to the characters at the start of the book as I wanted to. But overall, I thought it was such a well-crafted fantasy novel, and it does say in the back that it's, like, inspired by Malaysia, and the UK, or what would she say? She said, hold on, let's see, I'll read it to you. She said this is heavily inspired by Malaysian society, which I think is really interesting, which is where she grew up. But overall, this book was awesome. I really loved the inspiring nature of Lay's character and how she had to become a warrior. She wasn't created as a warrior. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I'm going to choose my next book, and I will come back and let you guys know what I'm reading. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, I'm just checking back in. I wound up choosing Never Contented Things by Sarah Porter, which is a fairy-themed novel. And I just called and checked with my friend to make sure we do have the same book, because mine is a manuscript. I got this at BEA from Owl Crate. And I just wanted to double check that I was reading the right version of this book. Sometimes when arcs come out so early, the story does change drastically. But from what I've understood, maybe it's just formatted a little bit different, or the text is really, really big. So yeah, I am going to read this, right now. I'm going to start it right this second. And then we will see how I feel about it. I had really good luck with the Wicked King series by Holly Black. And I really did like, I read a couple of fairy books when I was younger, but these are definitely darker fairy novels. So hopefully I like it. And the back sounds similar to the Wicked King series. This cover is not as pretty as the other covers. But yeah, hopefully I like it. This book is big. My arc I think is a manuscript, so it's a little bit bigger, and the print is really, really big. Which means my book is about like 500 pages, which I'm super excited about. So hopefully I like it, and I will check back in when I make some progress. Bye guys. Hey guys, Laura here. I'm just checking back in. I did wind up reading, technically it says I read 30 pages of this book. I really didn't. This book has like, it starts at page 15, so I really read like 15 pages of this book, but I'm on page 30. It's super interesting. It basically follows these two characters, John and Ksenia, I think. I can't pronounce her name. It's K-S. Sinea, I think it is. And they're foster kids, I think. So they live together in a foster care house, and it's coming up on the girl's, like, her last couple of months in this house, or last couple of weeks in this house. And they go to this forest, and they wind up encountering these people, and her brother gets taken. That's all I know so far. And I'm sure that these characters are fairies. Like, it's pretty obvious that it's fairies. And they make it seem like they had a connection to these characters in the past. So yeah, I'm super excited to keep reading. It's really interesting. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I did say at the start of this reading vlog, I'm a little bit sick. And I've been really slacking on my workouts. So I'm going to try to do one now so I can get that done and then hopefully move on. It's just like a really like rainy and cold day. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything super exciting. I was able to catch up on some of my booktube videos. I still have a bunch more to watch, and then I need to go through all my shows that I have not been watching. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm checking back in. It's about to be 3 o'clock, and I've actually made some progress on Never Contented Things by Sarah Porter. This book reads really fast because the print is so big. So like normally a book doesn't have, it has rather small print, but this is the print that I'm dealing with. So I'm just reading it like a faster pace. It's super interesting. Like, I'm really fascinated by the characters. Basically, follow these two characters, and they are both foster kids. And one day when her brother basically goes missing, she's dealing with a lot, and now he's back, and it's like things are weird. I'll say that. Like, things are weird, and you don't really know what's going on. Their dynamic is super interesting. Like, they're not related, so there's like a lot of like feelings that are in reeling with them. Um, you know it's a fairy novel because it says it on the front, a novel of fairy. So you know the characters they met at the start of the book are fairy. You don't know where he was or what happened to him, but there are like hints that like stuff is not going the way it should be going. Like their parents aren't, like their foster parents aren't coming back. It's just really interesting. So I'm curious to see where this book goes and how fast I can actually dive into this. It is reading much faster than I thought. I'm obviously having a really relaxing day. I really don't feel that great, so I'm trying to tackle as much reading as I can and catch up on my booktube videos. I was gonna film some booktube videos today, but honestly, my voice is like shot, so I don't think that that's gonna happen. But I will get to read some more, so I will definitely update it when I make some more progress. Probably around the 100-page mark or the 150-page mark. And yeah, I'll check in with you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, Lori here. I'm just checking back in. I have finally got up to page 114 in Never Contented Things by Sarah Porter. This book is super compelling. This book is told totally from the girl's point of view, which I'm really enjoying. And it has like a horror-ish vibe to it. Like, you know something's wrong. You know what's going on. It says it's a novel of fae, so you know that, and you know that who the fae are. It's really compelling, and it's super hard to put down. It right now it's reminding me of like almost like a Stepford Wife's world. Like everything's too perfect. And I'm really enjoying it. And now we're getting flashes to like what might be going on like in the real world that I'm really enjoying. But I'll be really intrigued to see how this book progresses and how the fairies progress, because right now we've only seen like a little bit of them. But I'm really intrigued by it. The first Sarah Porter book I read was Vasa in the Night, which was that was like one of my first ever Owl Crate books. I think it was like the first year I went to Comic-Con I got that book. And I didn't love it. Thought it was super confusing and super hard to follow. But this book is like nothing like that, and I'm really liking the fairy world. I think Holly Brack has prepared me really well for like evil fairies, and this book is just so compelling. Yeah, so I will try to check back in later. Sorry my voice is so scratchy. But yeah, overall, really good reading day. And I'm on page 114. I'm reading this really, really fast. I'm sure that I will like slow down, but right now, it's been a pretty good reading day. I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I did actually do some TV watching, but I did make some more progress on Never Contented Things. Now I'm on page 160. What I did not realize about this book is it changes perspectives. So I think according to this arc that I have right now, you get into like 3 or 4 people's perspectives, which is really interesting. And now we're in the lead girl's best friend's perspectives, and you're seeing it through her eyes, like what has happened, which I think is super interesting. This is definitely what I would clarify as like an urban fantasy novel. But we have like met the phase, which is really interesting, and now we're in a different character's head, which I really like. Yeah, so far I'm really liking this. I'm really enjoying it. I think the world is super interesting and compelling. The character dynamics are really interesting, and I'm really loving being in what's her name? Lexi's head. Lexi's like a typical all-American girl. And she is under the belief that something happened to Sania, and this is kind of where she is. She's in a lot of grief going through it, and then I guess we're gonna float back to the other 2 perspectives. But so far, I'm really liking this. It's definitely like a it's definitely like a slow moving fantasy novel, like very slow burn, unlike Cruel Prince and Wicked King, which I thought was like really fast paced. This book is very, very slow, and I would almost call this more of like an urban fantasy novel, where that was a pure fantasy world book. But that's just my thoughts right now. I don't know if I'm going to check in again because I'm trying to save my voice, but I might. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
I decided to add a physical clip of me talking just to let you guys know that I do have laryngitis. That's probably gonna push all my videos back at least a week. I am determined to do my wrap ups and everything at the end of the month, but right now I have no voice, as you can hear. Um, I always get sick in January, literally, but I've never had laryngitis before. So I have been reading. That's why the past couple of clips don't have me speaking, because honestly I couldn't talk. My voice is getting better, but it's still not great. And normally when I do my wrap ups and when I do my TBRs, I always talk. So I don't know when those are going to be up, but I will do the post on my blog. So make sure you're following me on Laura's Bookish Corner. And hopefully, when my voice is better, I can post those. But yeah, I just wanted to toss this clip in here to let you guys know that if my videos are late, the next couple of, like the next week, or if they're off the month of January, I was on a really good system for, if they're off for February, I was really on a really good system for January. That's why, because I can film. So just tossing this clip in here, and hopefully I'll see you guys with some more talking clips when I have more of a voice. Bye. Hey guys, Lori here. I'm back. I am on the mend. I'm not 100%. I am about 70%, but you can at least hear me, so that's good. Yeah. So I came down with laryngitis last week. As you guys saw in my previous clips, I sounded like I had a frog in my throat. And now I'm just going through my antibiotics, which means now I'm dealing with like aches and pains and all that fun stuff. So we will see how this week turns out. But I have actually gotten a lot of reading done, which is great. I actually am about 50 pages left in Shut Up a Fox by Julie Kagawa. I just finished The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West, which was quite a fun read. And I'll definitely talk more about that probably tomorrow when I have a little bit more time. But I'm going to hopefully go finish Shut Up the Fox right now. That's my plan of attack. But yeah, just want to let you guys know that this reading vlog did not go as planned, but I just get sick and I really was not feeling like filming. But hopefully, by early next week, my filming schedule will be back to normal. I'm still not 100%, but I am feeling a little bit better, so that's good. Alright, I'll touch base with you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys, Lori here. I'm back. So I'm here actually to wrap up this reading vlog. I want to recap all the books that I wound up reading when I was sick, because I really didn't do reviews. I just kind of showed the books in the video and then kind of gave finger stars. So I at least want to go through them and tell you guys my thoughts on them, because I wasn't able to do that. I am feeling a lot better, so I'm feeling that I could do that. I'm going to do some films and videos for you guys, and hopefully by early next week I will be back to my filming schedule. That's the plan anyway. So the first book that I wound up finishing during when I was sick was Never Contented Things by Sarah Porter. I did show the book cover earlier, but it was like an art cover. And this book doesn't actually come out till March. I liked it. I definitely didn't love it like I was hoping I would love it, like the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black. I really struggle with Sarah Porter's writing sometimes. I think her world building is a little bit on the weaker side, or it's like really confusing. I think she creates these like fantastical worlds, but they're just sometimes go a little bit over my head. They have like elements of like they're horror basically, but they're like really weird horror. But I liked it. I thought that I wish I could have felt a little bit more connected to the characters, and I definitely was more drawn to one point of view than the other two, so I was really compelled to be in that character's head. There was like LGBTQ references, there was socioeconomic issues that I really liked. I just didn't feel as connected to like the fairy part of the novel. Like, I felt like the fairies were, like, almost like an afterthought in it. It was okay. I recommend that if you like it, maybe get it from the library. Definitely wasn't my favorite read. And I wasn't as connected to the characters as I wanted to be. So that's my thoughts on Never Contented Things by Sarah Porter. My review will probably be up maybe, like, the end of February. But these are just, like, my brief thoughts. And then this is one book that I finished basically all in one day. And that's The Me I'm Meant to Be by Sophie Jordan. I got this book from Blogbound last year, and this was like just like a really, really fun contemporary. It wasn't my favorite book, I will admit, but it was a really, really fast-paced read. I gave it like 3 stars. Follows Flora and Willa, and they are 2 best friends. And at the start of the book, they decide to start writing like a girl code, like so that like, you know, what you know when you're friends, like, you don't do these things. But they both wind up falling for these two unexpected boys. One boy is kind of breaking the girl code, and it's just a kind of a fun story. I thought the characters weren't that memorable, and I thought that the drama was a little bit immature at points. But other than that, I thought it was actually a fun read. It was a really, really quick read to read when I was sick. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on The Me I'm Meant to Be by Sophie Jordan. And the last book that I finished, the last book that I finished reading as I wrapped up being sick, when I was home being sick, was Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. This was the Owl Crate book for the month of October. And I actually really, really liked this book. This was actually one of the highlight reads of my month, and I'll talk about that in my wrap-up when I film it. As a person, I don't watch a lot of anime. People keep telling me, oh my god, you have to watch anime. But this book was like a really like easy way to float back into that genre. And it basically follows these 4 characters, and basically it's set in this Japanese-inspired world. And they're basically hunting for this scroll. And this scroll, if you put the pieces together, it summons a dragon that gives you 1 wish. And all these people are like hunting for these pieces of the scroll. You have a main character who's basically an assassin. You have a main character who's a kitsune. And you have like a noble. And these are all the point of views that you get. I really liked it. This book was super compelling, super fast-paced. I love the lore. I was a big Teen Wolf fan, and the Kitsune unit arc was like one of my favorites. So seeing that in here was really, really fun. I loved it. I thought it was so compelling. I'm seeing some hate for the first couple of chapters of this book, but I actually really wound up liking it. But yeah, I was really happy that I wound up picking this up. I will definitely be checking out the sequel. I wish the ending wasn't as rushed. I thought the ending could have been fleshed out a little bit more, which is why I only gave it 4.5 stars and not 5 stars, but I will definitely be checking out book 2. I'm super excited for it. And if you're like hoping to dip your toes into more anime novels in the future, I highly recommend you check out Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. I also finished listening to The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West. This is actually the book for the Time Warp YA Book Club next month, but I just wound up listening to it. I actually really liked it. It's about this girl, who for the life of me, I cannot remember her name. But she winds up getting stood up on prom night by her date. She gets dumped on prom night. She sees this random boy in the parking lot and decides to take him as her date and to lie to all her friends that this is basically her boyfriend. And it just follows these 2 characters, and I really liked it. I think it's probably one of my favorite Casey West books. I really liked it. I thought that like it dealt with a lot of friendship dynamics and family dynamics and self-discovery, and I just really liked it. I gave it like 4 stars. I was really impressed by it. It's definitely like one of my favorite Casey West novels. And then after that, I wound up starting The Lying Woods by Ashley Elson. I don't think I've talked about this in this video yet. But I've actually heard a lot of things about Ashley Elson from Super Space Chick. But this is actually more of it's pitched, I think, as a thriller, but I think from what everyone says, it's definitely more of a contemporary book. And it's the only contemporary book I've read in so long that's only told from the male's point of view. And it's actually told from 2 males' point of view, because you get Owen in the present and Owen's father in the past. And it basically follows this guy named Owen, and he is thrust out of his cushy lifestyle when he realized that his father is embezzling from his entire town, and he goes by town. He has to deal with all these consequences. There is a subtle mystery about like who is threatening him and where is his dad, but it's definitely more of a contemporary that deals as Owen is confronting his past, and it's also showing in the past about Owen's father's summer, where Owen's father met Owen's mom. So a really, really compelling, fast-paced read. I'm already on page 134. I really hope to tackle this before the physical end of the month. But yeah, so those are all the books that I wound up reading during the time I was sick and recovering. I always get sick in January. I'm going to talk about that in my wrap-up. But yeah, so that is everything that I read. Let me know what you end up tackling during this couple of weeks time span, and I will talk to you guys hopefully tomorrow for another reading vlog. Bye.